ppmnation.com. Be still angry. Me write even more angry emails. Welcome to episode 48. Can you believe it? 48 of Angry Drunk Tales. I'm Matt Connerton.
I'm Jen Coffey, and no, actually, I don't believe it.
Oh, believe it. It's true.
But it's coming up on a year.
I know. That's true, yes. It will be a year in July since we left our former abode and ceased to maintain our living arrangement with Eduardo Assholio.
How can anybody be that bored?
I don't think it's boredom. I think it's alcoholism. Yes, we have yet another
With a touch
email.
of psychosis, maybe?
Oh, more than a touch. Guys,
He's
freaking whacked.
Like completely paranoid.
He is whacked. Well, as we've said on the show, we believe him to be either an undiagnosed paranoid schizophrenic or possibly, well, there's also,
There's a possibility he's just an asshole.
Well, I was going to say also, too, he may be undiagnosed bipolar, which makes sense, especially since he once actually told me that he was bipolar, and then later in another conversation, couldn't remember saying that, and said, no, not me, that's one of my friends. But I don't know, but I'll tell you what, he's tenacious, and we like that. We appreciate tenacity, because he's a go-getter.
Absolutely, and as always, you know, it's always been policy for the station, it's been policy for your show, Matt Connerton Unleashed, that when somebody sends a message, they're read.
That's right.
We just didn't anticipate having someone following us for a year.
Well, when we last left off with
it's insanity.
Yes. Like I said, he's a go-getter. He just keeps going and going. And by that, I mean he has to go get more beer. But
well, yeah, he has to go farther because if our listeners remember in the last episode, we found out that he now has to go farther because he's been banned from the one that's closer.
That is true.
Because he couldn't leave his dog home.
That is true, yes. Now,
just home.
Yeah, and so the reason we got episode 47 was because I went to help a certain individual move who was still living in that same house. And so Eduardo sent me an email that day. And it doesn't appear that he was completely inebriated when he sent this particular email that we read last episode because it was pretty coherent. I remember reading it and not really having to decipher anything.
That's true.
It was pretty straightforward.
True. Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. It was just bizarre because it's like, you know, this is a multi-apartment building. It's not you know what I mean? So
right.
Just because you don't particularly care for or whatever a particular neighbor, spying on them and attempting to whatever is just really weird and twisted.
Yeah,
okay?
But I will say this though, I can actually kind of understand it from his point of view, where he thought, and I said this in the last episode, when I went to go help this certain individual move, I can imagine him looking out his window, seeing me going inside and out in and out of that house, and just thinking, I bet his exact thought was, that motherfucker, after everything, has the balls to walk into this house. I cannot believe it.
So what? He
probably in shock.
He doesn't own the freaking house.
Oh,
he rents one of the apartments in the multi-apartment building.
I agree. Absolutely.
I mean, it's not like, I mean, get over yourself, dude.
Absolutely.
You're not even the property owner.
But I can kind of understand, though. I will say I can understand it from this point of view. Like, let's say he knew someone who lived in the place where we are now, and he showed up at this place one day to visit some neighbors. I'd be kind of shocked. I'd be like, wow, this guy has the balls to...
I wouldn't give a care. It's not my business.
Well, no.
As long as he's not invading my space.
But
now, if he's here and invading my space,
right.
if he was like, on our floor, in our area, or in some other way violating our liberty, then yeah, that'd be a different story. But it's kind of it's sophomorish. It really is because so it just brings you back to grade school,
right?
Billy gets mad at Johnny, and Barry's friends with both of them. Yeah. And if you're gonna be friends with one, you can't be friends with the other, or the one gets jealous. I mean, that's what it sounds like. So he's ticky with you because you used to live there almost a freaking year ago already. Oh my God! And he hears your voice because you're helping somebody who lives on the third floor. Okay, not even on his floor. You're helping somebody on the third floor, and somehow that makes you this, purposeful whatever, when all you're doing is just trying to help somebody freaking move.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
It's very sophomoric. It's ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, so what? You going to walk into like a grocery store one day and you happen to bump into him? Is he going to be like, how dare you go grocery shopping here? It's in the vicinity of my abode.
That's a little different, but I have always wondered if I'm going to run into him somewhere. But,
whoopee.
Whatever.
Okay, say in that moment, it's either, there's adult ways of dealing with things where you just like freaking ignore each other. I mean, there's no reason for anything other than that. Or you can act like you're going to be sophomoric as you have in the past
or he could
start an issue.
Or he could apologize
bullshit.
to us for his wrongs and atrocities against us. Yes, I said atrocities, goddammit. Now,
apologize? Are you kidding?
No, he's not.
I don't think he even knows how to form the words, I'm sorry.
No, he is never wrong. He'll say it sarcastically. I'm sorry, I'm such an asshole. He'll apologize sarcastically, which is, of course, not a real apology.
Of course, and along, just like whenever he brings up something he's been called out on, there's an excuse.
Right.
Same issue.
So
there's a theory in psychology about people and the development of their brain, that there are people that develop to a certain age of maturity and they don't move past that point.
Yeah.
Even if they're physically growing older, the mentality level does not.
Right.
Perhaps that's the case, or perhaps it's just killed too many brain cells with far too much beer.
Yeah. I mean, he has no social intelligence, clearly. No one with any social intelligence would knock at somebody's door at 2 a.m. to talk about The Walking Dead or something. So we have all kinds of theories about what's wrong with him, but so we got that email, and then, because, where he said, nice to see you today, hopefully for the last time. And so we read that in the last episode, and then we were like, geez, hopefully we'll get more, because we do so enjoy these. And then there were no more until a week and a half later, yesterday, we got
20 hours ago
2 emails from him. We got 2 emails. So now we have episode 48 and 49 to do, and we're doing episode 48 right now. It's so wonderful. But these emails have a twist. Oh no, don't think it's just going to be more of the same. No. I mean, there are recurring themes, but these emails have a very fun twist that I did not see coming.
I am so looking forward to hearing you attempt to read these emails, that I am just going to sit here and probably need to cover my mouth so the audience can hear me laughing.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to do 2 versions of each email in each episode. I'm going to perform for you my dramatic reading of the email that is the subject of this episode. And then, and we can discuss, and then I will do a dry reading of it where I don't self-edit as I read and read exactly what he typed. Because if I did it the other way around, if I just went ahead and read to you exactly what he typed, instead of kind of editing as I go, it wouldn't make any sense because he was clearly inebriated when he wrote these 2 emails. And it's always easy to tell.
And it was at 8:30 in the evening on a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
8:29 is the timing of the first email. That's this episode.
Yep.
And a little teaser. The next episode at precisely 8:42. There's another one, but we'll discuss that.
And
tomorrow.
Then right. So you can always tell whether he's been drinking or not. Not that even when he's sober, things like grammar and punctuation are not his friends. But when he's been drinking, it gets really kind of a challenge.
But he does spell your name right.
Oh, always, yes, which I appreciate. Thank you, Eduardo.
He kind of is a little bit off on mine, but it's a good effort, though, so I appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the email that I received from him Sunday night, Memorial Day weekend, 2016, from our protagonist and antagonist, Eduardo Assholio. Here we go. I'm sorry. The title, I almost missed the title, which is very important.
You must read the subject line. The
title of the email, because he does this thing where he's always done. He probably thinks it's clever, where the title of the email will be part of a sentence, and then the sentence then continues in the body of the email. All right, so here we go. So the title is, "Since you enjoy trash-talking me without giving me a chance to tell my side," and then the body of the email reads such, "I am going to offer you the chance to have me on one of your shows. While I explain how you and your girlfriend basically took over my whole place, had her 21-year-old lazy-ass spoiled-to-death kid move in without asking me, and how you liked hot air, but hated humidity, so you would run the AC with a window open. And let's see what your fans have to say. You have your stories, well, I have mine too." And they begin that Matt and Jen are 2 people who basically live off scamming the government for SSDI and food stamps. Seriously, asshole, you can't get a real job? Let's begin with me telling your listeners who you really are. What kind of bottom feeders you really are. What kind of flim-flam artist you are in particular, Matt. You say you have an open mic? Let me shove that mic right up your ass. I needed your and Jen's rent money for 1 month. 1 month only. When you left, it was a huge favor to me. You think you are a celebrity, and I think you are a fucking loser. Celebrities do not have to pay to get heard. You do. Thus making what you do not a career, but rather a hobby. If you want to talk shit about me, then give me time to debate your points. This email, I hope you will share with your listeners, by the way. Want to talk some shit and not get countered? Well, I think even most of your listeners are smart enough to know that what you were trying to do was very, very unprofessional. As a media person, you should, at the very least, be asking for a comment from the person you are attempting to expose. So here's your chance. Me and you one-on-one. I give my case, you give yours. And at the end of the day, either I am a piece of shit, or you have no more listeners while I expose you for being a phony and a fraud.
Dun dun dun!
Oh
Dun,
my.
dun, dun.
Oh my goodness, he's on the case. He's going
Eduardo Assholio.
Assholio.
Is he Assholio?
Please.
Is he still
if you're going to say his name, please you should show
Eduardo
him
Assholio.
the respect to say it correctly.
Okay, all right. First off, all right, wait a minute. Right off the bat, I get the biggest kick out of these things because the only way to do this is he needs to go public, but he's the person that wrote all these emails.
Right, we've been protecting him.
I mean, we've swapped out the names of all the players all the way through.
We used to, yes, and then we decided to just assign him a permanent pseudonym. But yes,
Eduardo Assholio just rolls off the tongue. Was it Brazilian? Did you say?
He's Guatemalan, actually.
Oh, Guatemalan. Yes. That's what it was. Yes. But it just it kills me because it's like there would be no show. There would have never been a show without the 10 to 20 emails a day or whatever.
Right.
Well,
what's funny about this to me is, so he has spent a lot of time in previous emails, as listeners have heard in previous episodes, talking about how we have no listeners, no one cares what we think, no one gives a shit. And all of a sudden, it's incredibly important to him to be able to tell his side, so that our listeners
nobody that listens.
Right. Right. It's kind of weird, and it makes me wonder if he at some point kind of had an oh shit moment where he looked into things a little deeper and realized that no, IPM Nation is actually a real thing, and that we actually do have listeners and viewers and quite a following. And
actually, yes.
and then he was like, "Oh, I didn't realize."
I mean, we do a top 10 list of cities, but that's not all the cities.
We have listeners all across North America, so
and around the world. But we just narrow it down to the top 10 cities because it just it makes more sense, and it's much more efficient for our listeners, and and for our hosts who are wanting to know the audience that they're reaching. I mean, oh my gosh, what do we got? Like 70 hosts now, something like that. Because some of them's got like track. 2 or 3.
I don't even know. Yeah, we carry a lot of programming.
I think it's something like, and that's just the radio side of it. I'm not counting the TV side of it. The radio side of it is the 3 channels, but I'm not counting TV.
Like I've always said, he knows very little about us and very little about our business and so forth, because he never took an interest. Like I said, I don't know what he thought I was doing all those nights when I was sitting at the computer and he was knocking on the door at 1, 2 a.m.
I do. Oh.
But I was working. You're trying to work.
I know. Oh.
What?
I know. You were eBaying.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Wait. Or you were trash diving. Trash diving.
Right. Yes. From
people, the bowels of people's homes and things.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. He has no clue, because as I've talked about,
not a clue in the world. This is going to be the best hater that I think you've ever had.
Well, because as I've talked about on the show before, we would have those, and I never felt comfortable around the guy, even when he was really friendly, because when he was friendly, he was sort of the other extreme. He was almost too nice. Like, what is he hiding? I never felt comfortable around him. But during those car rides to bring him to work, to bring him to Home Depot, to bring him to Lowe's, bring him everywhere, we would have these conversations where he was always talking about him. He loves to talk about himself, and that's fine. If anything that he says is even remotely true, then yes, he's had an interesting life. I guess. I don't know how much to believe, but because we know he imagines things and makes things up. But
oh yeah, but I mean, he's accusing you in this letter of blasting the air conditioning with the windows open.
That again, which I've never ever done.
Which is really hysterical, because anybody who does know you personally knows that you're not particularly fond of air conditioning.
Yeah, I don't mind the heat, and I'd rather just have the windows open and fresh air, even if it's 90 degrees, personally.
The only reason the air conditioner ever ran most of the time was when you were out, and I would close all the windows, and it was just me.
Right. But we'd be in the car, and I would try to share something about myself, and he's just one of those people, and we've all known people like this. Like, he talks about himself, and then I would try to share something or talk about something that happened to me, and he would just kind of either abruptly change the subject or would just kind of not respond at all, and then just blurt something out again about himself. So it was obvious that he had no interest in anyone but himself. And so he never really got to know me. Like, he knows very little about me and very little about our business, because he never took an interest at all. He's just all about himself. He's just one of those people.
I'm sure he doesn't even have a clue that we have, multiple sponsors on and all the hosts that we have and all the programming that we have, the syndication issues that we have, not issues, but the wonderful syndication we have. It's not an issue. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
He has no clue.
Right.
But nor has he ever taken the time to, like you said, show an interest in anything that you did. I don't know. Maybe he thought you were sitting there playing Mario Brothers or something. I mean, but he did not, and probably does not to this day, understand what it takes to do a show like that, any kind of show, whether it's pre-recorded or live, and the work that goes into it, and running the station, and doing programming on 4 different channels.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, and that's all on you. I don't do that stuff. I'm a recruiter. I find the talent. I bring in talent, and that's my main gig is finding people who have a story, or a voice and need a platform.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was his latest email. I suppose I'll do the.
Well, we need to address a couple. No, we're not on food stamps.
No.
I mean, Jesus. Actually, you know what I really love now is the Amazon Prime Pantry. I've fallen in love with Amazon Prime Pantry.
Yeah.
And it's great. You get the same prices in the grocery store and double the amount. So that's totally cool. It's just I don't know if anybody's ever heard of long-term private insurance, but he hasn't.
Right.
He always likes to call you. He's like the sophomore bully in high school. You're a fucking loser. You have your listeners, and you're not going to have any more. Oh, excuse me. You're not going to have no more listeners when I expose you for being a phony and fraud.
You know what he should do is he should do his own podcast about us.
Oh, he could.
I think that would be funny.
It could be hysterical.
Yeah. But
it could be hysterical. The only thing is, I mean, what's he going to use? Because he only had emails from us almost a year ago. We're talking literally almost a year ago is the last time he ever had an email from either one of us.
Yeah.
Or direct contact with either one of us, for that matter.
Yeah. But anyway, to answer the big question, no, we won't be bringing him onto the show. I have no desire to be anywhere near the guy.
There's lots of shows he can call into. He can have a voice anytime he wants to.
That's true. He can always call in to one of this show isn't live. We record this, but Matt Connerton Unleashed is live. I'm live 5 nights a week, 11 p.m. Eastern on IPM Nation 2, and now Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. On IPM Nation, the television edition of the show, now at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on IPM Nation. And no, I do not pay. What did he say? Or is
no!
email?
Don't touch that one yet.
That's in the next email.
In the next email.
For the next episode,
Shh, you can't say that one.
Yeah.
No, you can't say that one. But what was it? The other thing though he said about had to say about you. Oh, well, wait, too. The listeners can also catch you on Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 11 p.m. on Ohm Times. But you have to be a subscriber to the premium channel.
OTR FM, yeah.
Yep, OTR FM in order to hear that. So, I mean, that's an option. And there's a zillion other shows on, pick one.
Yeah.
Lots of them have call-in lines.
Yeah, if he really wants to expose me for the phony and the fraud that I am, Eduardo, if you hear this, you're welcome to call in to my other show, Matt Connerton Unleashed. But we're not going to sit down with you and do a taping with you for this show. That's for sure.
No freaking way. Our time is more valuable.
Yeah,
especially these days. We have people counting on us to deliver them the products that they are wanting, and wow, I
am willing to offer him this, though. If he doesn't want to do the call-in thing, if he really, let's do this. If he really wants to be on this show, Eduardo, you can record something. I promise you. In fact, you know what? And I hadn't thought about this at a time. This is a spontaneous idea.
Uh-oh.
I swear, Eduardo, if you want to record an audio file, you can say whatever you want. No, I don't want you to email it to me. Oh, how would that work?
Yeah.
I was going to say email it to me, but I don't trust you to not put a virus into it. I wouldn't open anything you sent me, so that probably won't. Well, I'll tell you this. No, okay, I've got it. Eduardo, if you record an audio file and post it somewhere online, you can say whatever you want. You can rebut anything you want. Say whatever you want about Jen and I. If you do that, and then let me know where you posted it, don't send me a link. Just send me an email describing where I can go to find it. I'm not going to click any link that you send me because I don't trust you.
No, because we don't have idiots written across our foreheads.
But let me know. But if you want to post something, go ahead. Let me know where to find it. I will play it on this show, and I promise you, I give you my word. Well, of course, you think I'm a liar anyway, so this won't matter to you, but whatever.
You're a loser.
But I know my word is good, so I'm just going to say it. You probably won't take me up on it anyway. None of this will matter. But I promise you this. If you do that, if you record your own audio file, maybe make a YouTube video and just post it, I will play it.
That would work because you can do that. You can keep it at a private setting, and you can put the email address of the person that you want to allow to be able to view it in there, giving them permission, and then just describe what you titled the video.
Right. Tell me where to find it. I'm not clicking a link that you send me.
You can simply look it up on YouTube, and it will appear for you because your email address will have been given permission to view it.
Tell me where to find it, and I will play it on this show, and I promise you I will not edit anything. I will not censor anything. I will not tamper with the audio at all. I will play it exactly as you record it.
Can I ask you a question?
I'll even, by the way, include it. I'll add it to the Angry Drunk Tales YouTube page. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so here's my question. So you're offering for him to record himself a rebuttal to the emails that he wrote that made every episode. So he wants to he wants a rebuttal on his own words, because that's what every single episode is a reading of his own words. So,
well, that's one way to look at it, yes, but obviously that's not how he sees it. He wants to rebut what we say about him.
I still think I'm still going with the kill too many brain cells with alcohol.
Yes.
I mean, there's just no other explanation for the insanity that has ensued. It's been almost a year.
Yes. But Eduardo Assholio, that is my challenge to you. If you, this is our counter offer. We're not sitting down with you. We don't want to be anywhere near you.
Hell no.
You are gross. But
to say it lightly.
But if you want to record some audio, we will play it on the show. And as I said, I will not edit or tamper with it in any way. We will play it completely unadulterated. Of course, we'll comment on it afterward. But that's about the best we're going to be able to do. But so we'll meet you partway.
So I have a challenge for you, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I challenge you to read the email the way it's actually written by Eduardo Assholio at, excuse me, what was that? Let me see. That was 8:29 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yes.
I challenge you to read this email the way it is actually written and not make any corrections.
All right, here we go. Since you enjoy trash-talking me without giving me a chance to tell my side, I am going to offer Yipu the chance Tayo have me on opni of your shows. While you explain how you and UGF basically took over my whole place, had her 21-year-old lazy-ass spoiled-to-death kid move in without asking me, and how you liked hot air, but hated humidity, so you would run the AC with the window open. And let's see what your fans have to say. You have your stories, while I have mine. And they begin that Matt and Jen are two people who basically live off samming the government for SSDI and food stamps. Seriously, asshole, you can't get a real job? A real is one word. Let's begin with me telling your listeners who you really are and what kind of bottom feeders you really are. What kind of flim-flam artist you are in particular, Matt. You say you have an open mic. Let me shove that mic right up your ass.
You got that one right.
I bet he wants to.
That right, too. He does that ass thing again.
I know. I needed your and MD Jen's rent money for 1 month, only 1 month, when you left. It was a huge favor to me. You think you are a celebrity, and I think you are a fucking loser. Celebrities do not have to pay to get heard. You do, thus making what you do not a career, but rather a hobby. If you want to talk shit about me, then give me time to debvate your points. This email I hope you will share with your listeners, by the way. Want to talk some shit and not get countered? Well, I think even most of your listeners are smart enough to know that what you were trying to do was very, very unprofessional. As a media person, you should at the very least be asking for a comment from Thai person you are attempting to expose. So here's your chance. Me and you one-on-one. I give my case, you give yours, and at the end of the day, either I am a piece of shit or you have no more listeners while I expose you for being a phony and a fraud.
Not bad.
Yeah, that one actually.
I'm gonna give you an A- on that because he didn't. He said lazy ass spoiled, not spoiled.
Oh, you're right. Yes,
you made a correction there.
Yes,
and there was a couple other spots you accidentally corrected, but overall, very good. Very good.
Well, this one actually isn't too bad. It's the next one in the next episode where he clearly had I don't know, another 6 cans of something.
Oh yes, tomorrow night's episode. Now wait a minute. Now I will get see the difference between these are the first one, which you just did really well with. I give you a lot of credit there. 8:29 p.m. And tomorrow night, you're going to hear the one that's at 8:42 p.m. Note the very short time frame, and come back tomorrow night to hear why this one's a little bit better or a little bit funnier, depending on your point of view.
All right, and in the meantime, we've laid down the gauntlet. Eduardo.
Assholio.
Will you take us up on the challenge?
Will you?
Good night.
Good night.
Love how it feels when I'm driving in my car and there's music in the air, and out of the blue they play the one I wanna hear. It's kinda surreal how the right words and melody can make me feel brand new, and that's the kind of feeling that I wanna give to you. Your words take a turn around. If I could find the perfect sound, I wanna be on the radio. I wanna save the industry. I wanna make everybody smile and sing along with me. Requested song. It might just be a crazy dream. I wanna be on the radio. There's not enough heart in what you hear on the radio. covers and t-shirt sales, ringtones and downloads and website hits, syndicated countdowns. I want all of this. On the radio, radio, radio.
IPMNation.com.